Hey guys, how we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. This is going to be my last video for a few days. I'll try and get some out next week, but I'm flying to Singapore tomorrow, so I won't be able to put any videos out tomorrow over here on YouTube, but check out my X profile. I'm sure I'll still be active over there on X. It's much easier for me to get updates out there. What are we looking for going into next week? That's the first thing I want to quickly touch on before we get into price action for crypto specifically. I'm going to start with the first Fed meeting next week. I think it's 17th, 18th. Definitely keep your eye on like what the market's doing in and around there, what the Fed say, what the reaction of that is for the market. It's anticipated and priced in that we have a 25 basis point cut, the first cut of the cycle. What does that mean going forwards? Obviously, yeah, we are unsure. Only time will tell. We could see, as I spoke about yesterday, 25 basis points, and the Fed say they're going to stop tightening. And if that happens, that's probably going to be really positive for the market. We could see 50 basis points. I don't know. I don't think we will, because I think that we could easily see some negative sentiment come with that, like the Fed are panicking. There's a lot of variables that we've been talking about, so I'm not going to get into it anymore. I just wanted to touch on that before I like to show that that's a key point that we're looking out for next week. And I have like dived into a lot of that in this week's newsletter, which gets released in, I think, about 5.5 hours. I always get confused with the times. Like Pav's over there editing it and like putting it out over in the UK time. I think it comes out like 3 p.m. UK time, so like 6 p.m. here, or maybe it's 2 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. here. Not sure, but go and check it out. It's free. Up to 605, I think, readers. So thank you very much for that. And just getting into crypto price action now. So honestly, I do think Bitcoin probably comes out down and takes some of this liquidity here somewhere at some point. If we look at Bitcoin, the other thing though, that it's a bit contradictory with my thoughts. Like I think we come down and take this, and maybe that's next week when we see like some issues with the, or like we see some markets reacting in a volatile way due to what the Fed are potentially going to say or not. But we've taken this liquidity here, we've grinded up, taken the liquidity, and at some point I presume we take liquidity below here before we start to see a big move. When we start to move out of this zone, what I want to see, I want to show you, go back and show you like the sort of candles I want to be seeing. You want to see moves like this, like bang, like real explosive moves. This, consolidate, explode. That's kind of what we want to see. We have maybe got the first step of that. Maybe we come down, then consolidate, and then rip it. That could be what we're looking for here. But always be aware that, especially when we're in a range of sweeping this liquidity below us. On trading different, we have liquidity at, like this looks worse than it is. Like it's down at 46k. We've talked about this a lot. I'm not going to get into that in today's video, but we have liquidity building here as late longs jumping into the party. But we also have liquidity building above us at 66, 67k. But realistically, if we do get up to that 66, 67k area, it doesn't mean we're out the woods. One thing in the short term that is very interesting is open interest is obviously rising. Look, we can see open interest actually been rising since the bottom. But a lot of this, at least now, for this last rise here, which is quite significant, is supported by negative funding. I'm going to take my drawings off because supported by negative funding, which means that it's probably a lot of shorts jumping in. At some point, we'll probably get another short squeeze pop if we continue to grind higher. So that's kind of contradictory to what I've just said. But like at some point we'll get that short squeeze. So maybe we come down, squeeze out the longs, take that liquidity, and then that's when we start to see those big candles I just talked about, when we start like getting more aggressive and squeezing out the shorts. Maybe next week's the catalyst. I don't know. It could be another month or so till we get into it. As I said, mid to late October, I'm bullish. Between now and then, like my head's in the clouds basically with what I think could happen. ETH is very weird and different, really. It's been adding open interest since its low, and the funding's massively green, making me feel like a lot of people are just jumping in long on ETH, which makes me think ETH could really come down at some point. Like, and again, I could be wrong with that thought. But the main cryptos I'm watching obviously are XRP. XRP, I'm going to do a deep dive, I think, with Conor Kenny on his channel, because he wants to just know my thoughts on XRP in general. And he said, why am I still accumulating? Am I not worried it's going to not go up? And like realistically, you never know whether something's going to go up or not, for sure. But if I go onto his channel and talk about it, I think it's better than just explaining every single time that I meet someone like why I like it. So I'm going to do a deep dive, I think, next week on that with him, or the week after. But basically, I just think there's going to be news coming out from Ripple about the XRP ledger, potential partnerships. We've not had any positive news realistically for like 3.5 years for XRP because of the lawsuit with the SEC. And all that could be potentially about to change if the SEC don't appeal, or even if they do. I don't think it's going to make a massive difference to what's going to happen now, because it puts the ball back in Ripple's court. We can talk about that in a different video too. I just want to talk about price action for now. Have we started to see the initial impulse of this third leg that I've been talking about? The charts that we need to watch are XRP against ETH and XRP against Bitcoin. Yesterday, ETH did outperform XRP, but today, as you can see, we may be setting that higher low. We may be setting that higher low that we've been looking for and continuing this trend. So that's the higher low here. Could we be setting that higher low now? Potentially. It doesn't need to be like as big as that, but it's just to show you. It could be that. And if it is, we're looking good for continuation. The RSI's pulled back nicely. The hourly, we've got some more space to continue higher. This is what we look like on the larger time frame. If we take it to the weekly, we are getting up towards that overbought area, sorry. But that's when the crazy things start happening. I've spoken to you about this in the past. We're looking for that close here, and then we've got one big resistance level or down sloping resistance, just a trend line. If we start to break these levels, guys, we're starting to look exciting. And I think that this closing above this could be the catalyst to get us above here, which then sends us off looking very positive. XRP Bitcoin struggling still at resistance. I don't know what is going to happen here. We've just got to keep watching and see how these things play out. XRP hopefully outperforms Bitcoin for the next 16 hours, and we get that close up and above this trend line here. This is the close we want. On the weekly would be perfect. We've had a daily close above there, but not a weekly. Similar with ETH, we haven't had a weekly close above this level. That's going to give us more of an indication of what's coming next, as long as XRP continues to outperform for the next 16 hours or so. That's basically where we are. Very exciting times. If you're an XRP holder, like we feel like we're on the precipice of something. Bitcoin, I don't think we're a million miles away from heading up now. Just probably a last little shakeout, get rid of any extra negative sentiment. But we could just march on higher from here, to be absolutely honest with you, as possible. But yeah, XRP's really looking to me like it's telling us that something's going to happen this cycle. We've got the extra emotional negativity from everybody else in the market, who will probably rotate into XRP as soon as it starts to break out, and that will add fuel to the fire. XRP ETH is the one to look out for, in my opinion. It's given us those early signs that things are changing. And the other thing is XRP dominance. I've not covered for a while. Let me just quickly open the XRP dominance chart. We're still banging our head on that resistance. RSI's pulled back. We've got some more space to continue, but on a real sense, if we look at the weekly, you can see that XRP has outperformed the market for, well, basically since the 24th of June. The 17th of June, we've basically been outperforming the market up at 1.58%. We're at this resistance level here, difficult one to break through for sure, but if we get through that, then we should continue this journey of outperformance. And these levels here are the ones that have provided the big catalyst for XRP. That's why I keep talking about it. We've had all these weeks of grinding back up towards resistance. Are we going to see a big catalyst come through that's going to help us break this resistance? Is it going to be the SEC saying we're not going to appeal? Is that going to bring positive sentiment back? Are Ripple going to announce something? It's like we've had this hype or talk with smart contract capabilities on the XRPL. Like a lot is starting to like churn in the background, and these are the things that spit out one piece of good news and everyone takes it, and then we start to rally. The last thing I'd like to talk about, actually, just quickly to finish off, and I know many of you won't be interested in this, it's ApeCoin. ApeCoin's launching its own chain. Yesterday, they announced that there's going to be $6.5 million worth of ApeCoin for people who are building, people who have bought apes and basically have MBA licenses, so made by apes licenses. ApeCoin's one to watch out for here, in my opinion. It's had all this period of drawdown while they've been distributing supply. All of a sudden, they've created their own chain, made some more incentives. People are going to start getting bullish about it, in my opinion. We've set a higher low on the daily time frame. We've now set a higher high on the daily time frame. This could be the start of a reversal for something like ApeCoin, so keep your eye on that as well. with that being said, guys, that's everything for this video. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you have a great week next week. I'll be in touch as much as possible, but don't expect just frequent videos because I'm over there in Singapore at Token 2049. I'm back by the weekend next weekend. So we'll just keep you updated as we go. Please go and follow me on X and subscribe to our free newsletter where I break down what I think is going to happen this week. Peace up, A-Town Down, as Crypto Insight UK would say. Thanks for tuning in.